The words hit me like a fist to the chest, sharp and cold, stealing the air from the room. My wife, Sarah, sat across the kitchen table, her hazel eyes fixed on the coffee mug she clutched, her knuckles white as bone. The clock above the stove ticked too loudly, each second slicing into the silence that followed her confession. I opened my mouth, but nothing came out, just a hollow ache where my voice should have been. 20 years of marriage, 2 kids, a mortgage, and now this. I'm with you because of the kids, she'd said, her voice steady but laced with something brittle, like she'd rehearsed it. I have no desire for you. The sentence echoed in my skull, a cruel refrain, as I tried to make sense of the woman I thought I knew. The kitchen smelled of burnt toast and the lavender candle she'd lit earlier, a futile attempt to soften the moment. I stared at the chipped edge of the table, where our son Ethan had carved his initials years ago during a tantrum. My fingers traced the rough grooves, grounding me as my mind spun. How long had she felt this way? Was it weeks, months, years? The question clawed at me, but I couldn't ask it. Not yet. Instead, I muttered, "What do you mean, Sarah?" My voice cracked, betraying the panic rising in my throat. She didn't look up. Her auburn hair fell over her face, shielding her from me. "I mean exactly what I said, Tom. I'm here for Ethan and Lily. That's it." Her words were deliberate, each one a needle threading through my heart. I wanted to scream, to demand answers, but the weight of her honesty pinned me to the chair. The room felt smaller, the walls closing in, the air thick with the scent of betrayal. I thought back to the past few months, searching for signs I'd missed. There was the way she'd started staying late at work, claiming deadlines for projects she never explained. The way her phone buzzed at odd hours, her fingers quick to silence it. The way she'd flinch when I touched her, a subtle recoil I'd chalked up to stress. I'd rationalized it all. Her distance, her coldness, because believing otherwise meant dismantling the life we'd built. But now, her words stripped away my denial, leaving me raw and exposed. "Sarah," I said, forcing the words out. "Are you saying you don't love me anymore?" My voice trembled, and I hated how small it sounded. I was a man who fixed things, leaky pipes, broken toys, our daughter's nightmares. But this? I didn't know how to fix this. She finally met my eyes, and I saw it, a flicker of guilt, but no warmth. "I care about you, Tom. You're a good father. But love, it's not what it was." Her voice softened, but it wasn't kindness, it was pity. I wanted to grab her, shake her, make her feel the earthquake she'd just unleashed in my chest. Instead, I sat frozen, my hands gripping the table's edge. The kids were upstairs, probably lost in their headphones, oblivious to the fracture splitting their parents' world. I pictured Ethan's lanky frame sprawled across his bed, Lily curled up with her sketchbook. "They were the glue holding us together," Sarah said. But what did that mean for me? A prop in her charade? A means to an end? My mind raced, piecing together fragments of the last year. The late-night texts, the new perfume, the way she'd laughed too brightly at her coworker Mark's jokes during the company picnic. Mark, with his easy grin and tailored suits, who always lingered too long when he dropped her off after team drinks. "Sarah," I said, my voice low, dangerous now. "Is there someone else?" The question hung between us, heavy as a storm cloud. Her eyes widened, just for a second, before she looked away. That split-second hesitation was a confession in itself. My stomach churned, while rising as the truth took shape. "No," she said too quickly, her fingers twisting the hem of her sweater. "It's not like that." But her voice faltered, and I knew she was lying. I'd always known her tells, the way her lips twitched when she wasn't being honest. I wanted to believe her, to cling to the life we'd had, but the evidence was piling up, each memory a brick in a wall I couldn't unsee. "Then what is it?" I pressed, leaning forward. The chair creaked under my weight, the sound sharp in the quiet. "You owe me that much. Tell me why." She stood abruptly, the mug clattering against the table. "I don't want to do this right now," she said, her voice rising. "I can't." She moved toward the sink, her back to me, her shoulders rigid. The faucet dripped, a steady plink-plink that matched the pulse pounding in my ears. I wanted to follow her, to demand the truth, but my legs felt leaden. Instead, I sat there, replaying every moment I'd ignored, every warning I'd dismissed. The next few days were a blur of strained silences and forced normalcy. I went to work, fixed cars at the garage, smiled for the kids. But at night, when the house was quiet, I'd lie awake, staring at the ceiling, my mind a battlefield of doubt and rage. I started noticing things I hadn't before. Her phone password had changed. Her work bag held a new scarf I hadn't bought. Her calendar had cryptic initials scrawled in the margins. Each discovery was a cut, small but deep, bleeding out my trust. One evening, while she was in the shower, I did something I'd never thought I'd do. I took her phone from the nightstand, my hands shaking as I guessed the new password, Lily's birthday. It worked. My heart sank as I opened her messages. There, in black and white, was the truth. Texts to Mark, dozens of them, filled with words she hadn't said to me in years. Miss you. Can't wait to see you. He doesn't suspect anything. My vision blurred, the phone slipping from my hand. I wanted to smash it, to confront her, to burn our life down and start over. But I didn't. I put the phone back, my chest hollow, my decision forming like ice in my veins. The next morning, I told her I knew. Her face crumpled, but she didn't deny it. It just happened, she whispered, tears streaming down her cheeks. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just looked at her, the woman I'd loved for 2 decades, and saw a stranger. I'm leaving, I said, my voice calm but final. Not for me but for the kids. They deserve better than this lie. Her sobs followed me as I packed a bag, but I didn't look back. The kids were at school, and I'd explain later, when I could find the words. As I drove away, the house shrinking in the rearview mirror, I felt the weight of her betrayal lift, replaced by something sharper, freedom. Sarah's confession had shattered me, but my decision broke her. She'd kept me for the kids, but I left for them, and for myself. The road ahead was uncertain, but for the first time in months, I could breathe.